In 1990, hundreds of mummified bodies were found buried in boats in an inhospitable desert area in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in northwest China. So known as the Tarim Basin mummies, they have now been genetically examined, and scientists have narrowed down the origins of the mysterious mummies. The results are quite surprising. The mummies were found in the Tarim Basin in Xinjiang, and despite being up to 4,000 years old, their bodies and clothing are remarkably intact. The arid desert air has naturally retained their hair color and facial features, making them visible. The mummies were found buried in boat-shaped coffins that had cow hides covering them. Next to them were foodstuffs like wheat, barley, and cheese, and animals like cattle, sheep, and goats that indicated this was a farming community. They were tall, some with fair hair, and they wore leather booties and felt hats that gave them the impression of visitors from a distant nation. The 13 astonishingly well-preserved 4,000-year-old mummies' genomes, however, show that they were not migrants who brought technology from the West previously believed. Analysis of the mummies' DNA indicates that they were natives with long roots in the area. In a study published in the Nature journal, researchers examined genetic data from mummies. They date from 2100 to 1700 BCE and shed light on the people's origins. They appear to be relics of an ancient population that disappeared in Eurasia after the last ice age, one that was ancestral to indigenous peoples living in Siberia and the Americas today. A naturally mummified Bronze Age woman was buried in the Tarim Basin. Photo by Wenying Li, Xinjiang Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology. Two opponents individuals 400 kilometers apart at opposing sides of the Tarim Basin shared DNA that was as similar as siblings. Even though the mummies were locals who had not intermarried with migratory herders from surrounding mountain valleys, they were not culturally isolated. By 4,000 years ago, they had already adopted new concepts and cultures. They wore woven woolen clothes, built irrigation systems, farmed non-native wheat and millet, herded sheep and goats, and milked cattle for cheese. Although prior research has proven that the mummies lived on the banks of a desert oasis, it is unknown why they were buried in boats covered in calf hides with oars at their heads. An uncommon tradition found nowhere else in the region and possibly best linked with the Vikings. According to the study, the population had lived in the area for some time and had a distinct local lineage, contradicting suggestions that they were herders from the southern Russian Black Sea region. Central Asians, or early farmers on the Iranian plateau. Ristina Warrener, a study author, Harvard University anthropology professor, and research group leader at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology, stated in a statement, "The mummies have long fascinated scientists and the general public since their discovery. Aside from being exceptionally preserved, they were discovered in a highly unusual situation and reflect various and far-flung cultural components." Researchers also stated that it was feasible for a community to be genetically isolated while simultaneously being culturally diverse, in addition to examining genomes sequenced from the remains of 5 individuals from the Xinjiang Basin further north in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China. The researchers also examined genetic data from the oldest mummies from the Tarim Basin, which date from 3,700 to 4,100 years old. Dating back between 4,800 and 5,000 years ago. They are the oldest human remains found in the region. All right, we've come to the end. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please show some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Remember to click the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.